Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we will be discussing if The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live was too short. So the short and quick answer to this question is yes, it was way too short. Now, if they wanted to keep it as one season, then they should have done 12 episodes instead of just 6. If they wanted to do a second season, then they should have spread the CRM story over the course of 2 seasons at 6 to 8 episodes each, because that's what they seem to be doing with these spin-off shows now. Now, the beginning of this show was not rushed at all. It was only the final episode that felt to me that was rushed. Episode 1 is one of my favorite episodes in the entire Walking Dead franchise. I love it so much. I gave it a 10 out of 10 on my first watch. It's just the shock from the very first few minutes of Rick taking his own hand is it's just incredible. It's crazy how they did it. Like, they finally followed the comics with Rick losing his hand, even though it was very, very different. I still loved it. The first episode was perfectly paced. I think they fit in everything that they needed to. Episode 2, I didn't like as much as episode 1, but it was episode 2 when I realized how much I missed Michonne. I never realized that I missed her that much until I saw her on screen again. Episode 2, I gave about a 9.5 out of 10. I think that episode was fairly paced. I hated that they killed some characters off in that, but it had to happen for the story to work how it was going to work. Episode 3 and 4 I thought were also fantastic. 3 is probably my least favorite out of all of the episodes besides episode 6. Episode 4 is my second favorite. I gave that one another 10 out of 10. People say episode 4 should have been cut because they say it was a filler bottle episode, but it was not. It was needed for the building on Rick and Michonne's characters, you could say, on their chemistry, because they haven't seen each other for almost 10 years, I think it is now, and we needed to see that with that episode. So the first 4 episodes are perfectly paced and they're done perfectly. I love it. There's nothing wrong with the first 4 episodes. Now episode 5 comes into play, and everything that they were doing there, it was going good. But if they knew that they were locked to 6 episodes, they should have took when Jadis showed up in episode 5. That should have been the ending of episode 4. Then episode 5 has the rest of what episode 5 would be, then their travel back to the CRM and some planning of how they get inside, because in episode 6 they got inside a little too easy. For this being the most powerful military base in the world, Michonne snuck in very easily. Now, I love episode 5. I give that like a 9 out of 10. When Gabriel came back, I was so happy to see him again. I really missed seeing him in this series. Jadis's death was handled perfectly. It was way too fast from the end of episode 5 to the beginning of episode 6. They jumped too much space, I would say. And now in episode 6, they just completely get rid of the CRM. Now, I will be making a video later about the future potential of the CRM, because Mason Beale, Major General Beale's son, is still alive. So I'm thinking Mason Beale will have he'll have an idea in his head that he can corrupt the CRM again and get the CRM to go with him to go and find Rick to try and kill him, to make the ending of the comics connected with this show. So if you didn't know, in the comics, at the very end, Rick does die to Sebastian Milton. So they could make Mason more, I'd not say more like Sebastian Milton, but kind of have his storyline of where he kills Rick. I think that's where this universe is headed. Major General Beale should have been explored more, which in my more Tales of the Walking Dead episode or video that I made, I had him as one of the characters I wanted to see again, because there's so much story there that is untold. He's the head of the most powerful military in the world, so we need to feel that threat from him, and we didn't really get that threat in episode 6. Rick and Michonne just blew up the entire CRM, and nobody could stop them. And what it came down to, it was the power of love. And I thought that was such a corny line when Michonne said, "Love doesn't die." I thought it was just so forced, it's so stupid, and Pearl Thorne's switch up was too fast. They should have slowed that down. And they had Pearl in episode 3 kind of go through a Shane moment where she was going to kill Michonne. So they should have made Pearl Thorne act more connected to Rick if she's going to go through that Shane route that they mirrored in episode 3. So all in all, they should have made this one season of 12 episodes or 2 seasons of 6 to 8 episodes each, just to explore the characters more. I feel like some of the character motives needed to be explored more for it to make sense, such as Pearl switching up. And I wish we just saw more of Okafor. We saw him for 1 episode, and he's one of the most impactful characters in the entire Walking Dead universe. So is Major General Beale. He should have been in it more if he's supposed to be the big bad of this season. I understand that he's not the big bad, it's the CRM as the big bad, but he's the head of it, so we needed to see more of the head of the CRM and more of the CRM as a whole. That is pretty much it for this video. I will see all of you in the next one. See ya.